Hello Internet people, welcome to day one of E3 2015. I'm joined by Mr. Richard Walker.
Hello.
We're going to run through the press conferences. Square Enix's press conference has just finished, so officially all of the console press conferences are out the way. So we're going to work through them from Sundays through Mondays into Tuesdays, talking a little bit about them and talking about our favourite things, the big announcements, what was fucking terrible and what was amazing and so on.
Right. Well, Bethesda started strong out the gate.
Of course. And Bethesda, this is their first ever E3 press conference.
Yeah.
How do you think they did?
I think it's great. They were low on waffle, which is good. You know, Square Enix just now, waffles. Too many waffles. This Bethesda, the Doom straight in there, that was
plenty of gameplay.
Big announcements, plenty of gameplay. They announced the map maker thing, Snap Map or whatever it's called. That's probably not what it's called.
Dishonored 2.
Dishonored 2, I mean, that was kind of a muted response as it had leaked, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a shame as well, right? Because it would have been such a big announcement if they hadn't leaked it themselves.
Yeah, so yeah, that was a shame, but still great to see it.
Dishonored Definitive Edition as well.
Yeah.
So if you missed Dishonored last gen, you'll be able to play that on the new gen.
With tastier graphics, which is nice.
Yeah, and of course, like Doom looked old school Doom, right?
Yeah,
that's how I remember Doom. Big rock music, big guns, lots of blasting.
Although I can't help but notice it still had a little double jump in there. And mantling, but that's fine.
Everything's double jump now, right? It's Doom, but now version of Doom.
They got the brutality and just the of Doom. Yes, the satisfaction.
Of course, and they didn't spend too long on things that may not interest most of the public. Like Battle Cry, they touched upon it. They did their kind of due diligence. They ticked it off. They announced Fallout Shelter free for iPhones, not Android. So.
No, but even that was cool. It was a nice, quick announcement.
But no Android.
Well, it's iPhone.
80% of the world. This is a stat I found out.
Is it?
80% of mobile phone smart users are on Android.
Well, I'm sure they'll rectify that down.
Apparently, it's easier to develop for iPhone though. So it's the classic PS3, Xbox 360 again.
Yes. What did they show after that?
And Fallout 4.
Fallout 4? I thought there was something else. Yeah, okay, Fallout 4. Yeah, and the Pit-Boy edition. How good is that,
the Mental, right?
Yeah, that looks great. I've already got mine ordered.
Yeah. Yes, I have, yes.
Yeah, okay, good.
The only cringe-worthy moment was when Pete Hines went off to sit in a little seat and do his iPad. But apart from that, in terms of cringe, there was minimal cringe.
But as cringeworthy moments go, that was one of the lesser cringeworthy instances.
Oh, for sure, because we're going to go through a few now that are horrific.
Yeah. So anyway, Bethesda, overall thoughts? Yeah,
amazing. Like Fallout, because this was their first show as well. Considering this was their first show, they were very professional. Yeah. They didn't dilly-dally. There were no real technical issues. Maybe the screen, right? But I get the feeling that was the Dolby Theatres. But they got a great venue. Good people there. Quite well organised as well.
Yeah, really well organised. Started on time, finished on time. Bish bash bosh.
Well, actually, it was 7 seconds late.
Oh, was it 7 seconds late? Oh, okay.
But yeah, all in all, a pretty brilliant start to E3 2015.
Absolutely, great. And from there,
Microsoft Monday morning. The first thing that people noticed was straight out the gate, no Call of Duty to open the show.
Yeah.
And we later on in the day found out why.
Yeah.
We opened with Halo. We had some really big announcements. We had
backwards compatibility.
That was like one of the biggest announcements of E3 2015. One of the biggest announcement for me was Fallout 4 PC mods only on Xbox One, actually just on any console. So
really?
No, I mean it's actually Fallout mods on a console. That's the big thing, right?
It's a big deal.
Like people have been playing Skyrim for years after it launched because of all the mods. Yeah. So now Fallout 4 will get that kind of longevity on Xbox One.
That's so exciting. Yeah.
So on top of that, we had the incredible HoloLens Minecraft demo.
Yeah, I'm still not sold on that.
Really?
To be honest.
Oh, that looks fantastic.
Yeah, but am I going to buy one? Am I ever going to use it? Probably not.
But think about all the people that play Minecraft that could do that.
Yeah,
Minecraft, one of their biggest properties that they own.
The key to HoloLens kind of living or dying is going to be whether it's affordable. And I don't think it will be.
Really?
I think it'll be pricey, probably.
Well, if it's pricey and it doesn't sell, they'll drop the price.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Simple supply and demand.
Yeah. Did I see they partnered with Valve for some VR stuff as well?
Yeah.
Because they'd already partnered with Oculus, so I was confused about
But the Valve stuff was Windows 10 stuff, right?
Okay.
And the Oculus stuff is Xbox.
Okay.
So, yeah, I was a little bit confused because it's as if the messaging on that was completely wrong.
Yeah.
That they tried to get a point across and everyone was like, wait, I don't understand.
Well, when I heard Valve, I was like, Like,
yeah, I know, because you were sat there, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
no.
It was like VR, and I was like, oh, right, okay, whatever.
But in terms of games, they showed off Tomb Raider, which looked more like Uncharted, which is a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, we don't want that, thank you.
Gears, Judgment. Is it Judgment? Not Judgment. HD...
Ultimate Edition.
Ultimate Edition.
Gears of War Ultimate Edition.
And Gears of War 4.
Yeah. I thought it'd have like a fancy subtitle, but no, it's just Gears of War 4.
But in terms of real big announcements, there weren't really any. Rare's 30 game package is cool as fuck.
That's cool. Rare replay. Yeah.
Rare's Sea of Thieves. That was
looks alright.
We don't really know much about it.
Yeah.
It's hard to get excited over Rare games these days.
Yeah,
when you see what they've been like, Connect Sports Rivals and stuff like that. It was just so uninspired.
Yeah.
But in terms of other announcements, anything take your fancy? Gameplay demos?
Microsoft's thing, I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was a good conference, but like Gears, I was really disappointed by that demo. I couldn't see what was going on.
Yeah, right.
It was so dark.
Yeah, I don't understand why that was the demo for the show. Hoping we're going to get to see that today.
Yeah.
So hopefully, when we do our wrap-ups, we'll come back and talk more about it. Hopefully it's a much brighter demo. But yeah, that was far too dark.
I didn't really get an impression of what the game was like at all.
But maybe that was a technical thing because they haven't built the levels properly yet because it's still 18 months out.
I suppose. Right? I suppose. Yeah, possibly.
But at least it was actually being played live on stage, which is a positive thing.
Absolutely.
But in terms of that, it was a good little conference overall.
Yeah, good indie roundup as well. Got to see a bit of Cuphead.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. I think the only disappointing thing for me was that they had all the killer policies, backwards compatibility mods, and the early access stuff.
Game preview, yeah, of course.
But they didn't really have the killer apps to back it up, the big announcements.
Yeah.
And like 3 of their biggest games, they just pushed back to Gamescom.
Yeah.
Just to maximise their impact. Crackdown, Scalebound, and
Quantum Break.
Yeah. So, but yeah, all in all, a fairly decent conference.
Yeah, kind of solid, I think is the word I'd use to sum it up. Solid, but as we'll talk about later, Sony really blew them out of the water this year, I think.
You're getting ahead of yourself, Rich.
Getting ahead of myself, but I'm just saying. But so who was next?
Next up was EA Electronic Arts.
Yes.
Who started unbelievably strong by announcing Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah.
With an in-game engine.
If that is in-engine, and it says it is at the end of the trailer, that
and
looks
they've been
stunning.
putting out screens, I think they must be screens.
Concept images.
Well, they're not concept because they're taken from...
Well, it's like renders, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty amazing.
Obviously you're super excited for that.
Yeah, for sure. Then they lost their way a little bit, right?
What did they even do next?
I can't remember, but then it descended into... All I took away from the EA conference was Pele chat show. That fucking went on for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm like,
didn't need that.
Wow. As much as I love Pele and respect him for everything he has done, like, I mean, Rutter said that was one of his child ambitions, one of his life goals. It wasn't for us, mate. For fuck's sake. 20 minutes. Like, I would much rather. Yeah, I swear it was 20 minutes.
I think I nodded off.
But like sports, mobile. Let's talk about mobile. Hell's about no. That was the entire Twitter response.
Absolutely.
And then it was back to sports.
Yeah.
But then it ended really strongly. We saw a good chunk of...
Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh no, you're jumping ahead of yourself again.
I thought Star Wars Battlefront then
Mirror's Edge Catalyst, then Battlefront. They ended with Battlefront.
I've forgotten the order.
Oh, because they had some Old Republic stuff in there as well, which
whatever.
But yeah, Catalyst looks open world, seamless, no loading screens.
Yeah, that looks genuinely exciting actually. Yeah. It looks good. Looks like they've kind of preserved that core of Mirror's Edge, but then just expanded it out in every direction.
And of course, the biggie, Battlefront, which looked absolutely stunning. Although you were going, I think you'll find that Luke Skywalker wasn't a Jedi when the Battle of Hoth came round.
You know, if you're a stickler for the timeline like me, Luke wasn't a Jedi during the Battle of Hoth, and he is depicted as such in the gameplay.
Maybe they're using like Back to the Future style kind of devices to go back and fight the Battle of Hoth. But it looked phenomenal, and it's got everything.
It does, yeah.
all the vehicles, all the guns, all the characters,
You
all
can
the
pilot an
races.
AT-AT, it looks like.
Yeah.
Right? Although I saw no cockpit view, but then...
Oh no,
just
but no, you
that,
don't
isn't it?
pilot it.
Oh, you just control the guns?
yeah,
Oh,
and it's
right,
on
that makes
rails.
sense then.
But like that was a gameplay choice, and
Yeah.
I think that was a wise choice for the simple fact is, imagine just giving free rein to an AT-AT and just going, yeah, just climb up this fucking mountain.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
imagine that. Like, it would have just.
Well, I suppose you'd have to keep it so that, yeah, you are on a set path and only flat surfaces are allowed.
Yeah, right. Because otherwise,
I don't think it'd be much fun to control one actually, because they move
No,
so
it's
slowly.
really slow, right?
That's the point.
but there's all the space battles. I know they're not space battles per se, but
Dogfighting.
Yeah,
above
like-
no space battles, unfortunately.
but like all the canyon chases and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and it just looked to me phenomenal.
But do you know what? It does make me long for a Death Star trench run.
But you
It
never
does.
know. You never know.
But
DLC?
I was thinking it could be DLC.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be something there.
But I mean, that really wouldn't make a good Battlefront map, would it?
I think it
'Cause
would,
you
yeah.
just-
If you had
but
X-Wings
where-
in the trench and then other stuff, maybe
where-
people controlling turrets and...
Yeah, but where would you have your on-foot combat there?
Well, you could have people going into Star Destroyers like they did in Battlefront 2 and running around
Yeah, I guess.
disabling
But
generators.
there's only
and
24
things.
players on this.
20.
20,
20
sorry,
versus
20.
20. It's 40.
That's what I meant. There's only 20 players like per team.
Yeah. You
Like,
could still do that. Why not?
really?
Yeah, just keep it...
Because if you've got like 10 people in planes, in like X-Wings and
X-Wings.
stuff.
And TIE fighters.
Yeah, so-
I don't know. I think they could make it work. DICE are pretty smart developers. They'd make it work.
So EA overall, I mean, it was very mixed, right? They had some
Yeah,
great
ups
games
and
and then
downs,
some
peaks
waffle.
and troughs.
Like
absolutely.
some big fucking waffle.
Some big troughs.
But yeah, it was all right, and you kind of almost forgiven them
yeah.
for what
Because
happened
they
in the
bookended
middle.
it so well.
Yeah, right.
Such great bookends.
That's what you
the middle
remember.
stuff, exactly. The middle stuff is forgivable.
And very similar to that was Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Started really strong, and for the most part had a really strong conference. There was just a few little blips, and there were some really fucking awkward moments.
Yeah, right.
Like the cosplay
But that's
guy
that's
that they interviewed.
Yeah, that's kind of Ubisoft's signature, isn't it? The awkward sort of-
Cringe.
Oh,
It's like, oh
God.
my god, just talking to this cosplay guy in the audience. It's like,
Like Jason Derulo coming on and
oh
performing.
god, yeah, that was horrific.
I told Lee on Skype that he was called Jiffy Flimbo, and he believed me.
Really?
He's like, is he really called Jiffy Flimbo?
Oh, my.
I was like,
That's
no,
amazing.
no, he's not.
But on top of that, they had a good start. They came
Yeah.
out the gates, new South Park game.
Yes. What was it
Fractured
called?
Butt Knowledge.
The Fractured Butthole.
Oh, Butthole, that's
Butthole.
it. Fractured Butthole.
Yeah.
Which is obviously Butthole.
And it's a
fractured.
superhero game, so
Yeah.
it's all their heroic alter egos.
Yeah, it's like Mysterion.
The Coon and like Mint Berry
Mint Crunch,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Brilliant. So yeah, I was super psyched about that. That kind of made my entire E3. Like I'd had my big franchise.
But it was a
just
genuine
like-
surprise.
Yeah.
No one knew that was coming. That
which was the problem a little bit with this year, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
so many things were leaked.
Microsoft
and
had a few things that were
Yeah.
surprises. Bethesda had nothing that was a surprise,
No.
really.
No.
EA. Did EA have anything that was a surprise? It didn't.
I
did it?
suppose
Oh,
the Mass Effect
a little
reveal,
bit.
but we knew that was coming.
Yeah,
we
but-
yeah.
Ubisoft and Sony were the only ones with big surprises.
Yeah.
So Ubisoft, they had For Honor as well, right? The new
Yeah, For Honor, their
kind
new
of four-player co-op-y hack and slashy.
4v4 kind of melee combat,
Yeah.
like historical kind of battle. So they showed like a kind of medieval British knight with a big broadsword going
Yeah.
against a sort of katana wielding samurais.
Yeah.
That looked kind of cool. Sort of big battlefields, lots of NPCs running around.
So on top of that, they
yeah.
announced the Crew Wild Run as well, which is like monster trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
They also announced. Oh, the big one at the end was
Well,
Ghost
Trials
Recon.
Fusion.
Oh,
as well,
Trials
they
Fusion.
Also, a new
whatever
pack for that. What's it called? The Awesome Max Level pack,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
With a cat on a unicorn's back
Yeah.
that breathes fire.
Yeah, for sure. It's
Crazy.
like their what was the Far Cry?
Oh, I guess it's
Their
their
Blood
Blood
Dragon,
Dragon,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
for
yeah.
Trials. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the big surprise at the end was Ghost Recon, which looked absolutely stunning.
Wildlands.
Yeah.
So there's a wild motif. So
Yeah.
you've got Wild Run, Wildlands.
Yeah, it looks.
So yeah, that's interesting.
And it looks stunning, like open world, like proper, like old school Ghost Recon, where you're doing not
Yeah.
like Future Soldier.
Yeah.
But the problem with Ghost Recon and E3 is we've seen amazing E3 demos of Ghost Recon before, only to have them being
Well, this
completely
is it.
changed by the final game.
Nothing's ever set in stone with Ghost Recon, is it? I mean, you see what happened with Ghost Warrior. Was it Ghost Warrior?
Was it Future Soldier?
Future Soldier, sorry. Yeah, with Future Soldier.
It started off as something completely different, right? That
That-
beach.
Original beach section that they showed looked incredible, and then they just scrapped the whole thing and went off in a total well, not a total different direction, but a different direction. So yeah, I guess remains to be seen what will become of Wildlands.
But yeah, I mean, they showed off the new Assassin's Creed as well. We also saw Siege, which still looks cool as hell.
Yeah, Terror Hunt. That's big.
Terror Hunt? Did anybody ever call it Terror Hunt?
Terrorist Hunt. I think they just compounded
the
word.
Yeah, they did. They said it as if like everybody's been saying it for years. Terror Hunt's back, guys.
What?
Terror Hunt? Oh, Terrorist Hunt.
Yeah, we don't have time to say 2 whole words.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's 2015.
But in all,
squish everything.
It was a fairly strong conference, and there was just the massive moments of cringe, which was cosplaying Derulo.
Typical Ubisoft conference, I thought.
And I think it was the most cringeworthy of the lot.
Possibly.
Those 2 moments.
Possibly.
But it was still a really good conference. And before we move on to Sony, we're gonna say the best or last, effectively.
So we'll talk about Square.
Let's talk about Square's Waffle Fest.
We should have got that out of the way first, really. Yeah.
Well, to sum Square up, it was a waffle fest full of reused trailers.
It was just dry.
And far too much talking.
It was
not
so
enough action.
dry. It was so dry. It was quite dull. Yeah, just a lot of kind of very staid kind of talk. Just that guy behind the lectern, just reading his auto cue.
Yeah.
Really kind of wooden. And the reveals, yeah, like you say, a lot of them had already been covered.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy 7,
World of
HD.
Final Fantasy, yeah, they had nothing new to show from either of those.
Well, what they did, they announced Hitman yesterday on the Sony conference. They actually showed off a little bit today. It looked a bit cool. Talked about it.
Amazing, actually.
They showed off a little bit of Deus Ex, but it was a trailer. Like E3 demos for me are actual demos.
Live demos.
Yeah. You can't just throw a trailer up. I mean, just fucking, if you want to do that, put your assets online. If you want to do a demo and you do a press conference, you do demos.
Yeah.
Just Cause 3 showed a little bit off, but it was another trailer.
It was just like this is Just Cause 3 kind of thing, just running you through the features,
They showed off Star Ocean, ridiculous title.
What was it? Integrity and Faithlessness.
It's like, oh, bollocks. But it looks really good. Like, genuinely, like, visually wise.
It looks quite pretty.
Combat looks, I like the combat, looks good.
New Nier game.
Yeah, new Nier game.
Which I didn't see coming.
Been Platinum Games as well, which is a biggie, right?
Yeah.
Platinum Games, the problem with the last Nier was, like, the story and the world was ace, but the mechanics were fucking terrible.
So that should sort that out.
So yeah, I mean, if you can do that now and bring them 2 together, like the story and the mechanics, then it should be good. And that was pretty much it, right?
They showed some Kingdom Hearts.
But like,
that looked good.
The problem with Kingdom Hearts was they were like, let's show some Kingdom Hearts, and it was Kingdom Hearts iPhone game.
Oh jeez,
let's show some Kingdom Hearts, and it was Kingdom Hearts. I don't know, fucking
something else.
Whatever.
Yeah, that was painful.
So yeah, Square Enix for a first attempt. The problem was if Bethesda.
We forgot Project Satsuma. Project Setsuna.
Oh, is that
which we don't know much about?
Tokyo RPG Studio.
Yeah,
great name.
Factory RPG. Tokyo RPG Factory.
Yeah,
it's like they kind of built up this reveal, and the developer is Tokyo RPG Factory.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like something stupid like
Kojima RPG Studio.
Yeah, or
fucking hell.
What was the studio that they set up for?
I can't remember.
The ruse for. Phantom Pain.
Oh, Moby Dick, yeah.
Moby Dick. I thought it was going to be like Moby Dick and shit, lose their shit. No. I genuinely expected somebody in Kojima to happen.
Well, either the audience weren't mic'd or just no one was clapping or cheering for anything.
Right.
It was,
But like, the problem was, I think that if Bethesda wouldn't have done their first E3 conference on Sunday, this wouldn't have been too bad. But they were showing up a little bit. But I mean, that's the old school E3 press conferences that we used.
I mean, old school.
Not like the Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft.
It had no pizzazz.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. No pizzazz, no jazz hands.
Yeah. And of course, saving the best till last. I would say, would you say the clear winner this year?
I think so. Yeah.
For me, the biggest announcement of the show was mods for Fallout.
For Microsoft,
no, for across the whole show.
The show.
Like for me, that one has the most relevance. But like in terms of an entire package, Sony had
won
all the games, right? I mean, Uncharted 4 looks stunning.
Yes,
they had big announcements.
Well, Last Guardian, starting with that.
Yeah, I mean, it looked very similar to.
Well, it doesn't look like it's come very far, but
wasn't it pretty much the same demo?
No, I think it was different. I think so.
Not that different, though. It's the same area.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, so Last Guardian they kicked things off with, and they showed off a Horizon, is it called?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
That was it.
Guerrilla Games new
which
one.
looks really good. It's like
That looks
robot
brilliant.
dinosaurs have overtaken the world.
It looks like Guerrilla have kind of been allowed to let their imagination run a bit wild with this, and it looks really good. Third-person game from them.
Yeah,
Open world.
And on top of that, we had Final Fantasy VII HD, which was huge.
That was a big one.
But the best thing about that was they almost trolled everyone by going, "This is the game you've been waiting for, World of Final Fantasy."
Yeah.
It's like, oh, for fuck's sake! And then I was literally tweeting like, they do this every year.
Yeah.
They build it up to be Final Fantasy VII. It never is. And then it was like now, and you were like, "This is Final Fantasy VII." I was like, "No, mate, no, mate." I was like,
as soon as I saw like the big Shinra Midgar reactors, I was like, "Yeah, I remember that place."
So, that was the big bombshell. But it went on from there, and they managed to push. Like a lot of people have been complaining about how Shenmue 3 was pushed through.
The Save Shenmue 3 campaign.
Yeah,
Crazy.
but a lot of people are complaining about, hold on a minute, why the fuck would you launch a Kickstarter on your stage? Why don't you just fund it yourself?
Do you know what? It worked.
Yeah,
2.5 million.
At the end of the day, we should be happy because we get Shenmue. And that's it.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, and then they showed off, like, they ended with Uncharted 4, which looked incredible.
Do you know what it felt like, Sony's press conference? It felt like they had a wish list of gamers, like demands, and they were just ticking them off. Final Fantasy Remake, yeah. Shenmue 3, yeah.
Yeah.
They were just...
Last Guardian,
yeah, they want that. They
New
want
Hitman.
Uncharted 4, New Hitman, yeah, we got that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just... That's...
For sure.
That's textbook, it's perfect.
Yeah, for sure. And across all of the conferences, like, it's a good time to be a gamer.
Absolutely.
Like, Sony's was just stunning. But even if you're an Xbox fan, some of that stuff is on Xbox as well, so don't be too downhearted. Hitman will be. Final Fantasy VII should be, because they said exclusively first.
It did say first on PlayStation 4. Yeah, so it's possible.
Yeah, Taken King, Destiny, that all.
Oh yeah, they did show that, didn't they?
Yeah. That was and Call of Duty going to PlayStation as well.
Yeah, of course, the
exclusive
exclusive maps now. Yeah.
So it was a very interesting show from all to all.
It was indeed.
And I would say that was the best start to an E3 ever.
Yeah, it's exciting. Now the show is starting we got to be there in 10 minutes, but it's exciting stuff, and we can't wait to bring you all the previews.
So every day, including later on today, we will be talking about what we've seen at the show, what we've played, who we've interviewed, what we've seen, and we're all going through every single game, one by one, every single day while the show's on. So do come back later on today, and thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Cheers.
We'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.